Hello guys, back again. Pound coins and a £2 coin I've got to do today. Um, this one you can see right now is a very, very shiny coin. And can you see that up there? What the date of this coin is? Well, let's go round the tired old way of doing what we do. I used to always start off, as you know, with the shamrock. But since learning a certain thing about these pound coins, I now start down here. And you will see straight away this nice shiny £1 coin is Duff. And how do we know it's Duff? Sorry if you're American or from another country and you don't understand the terminology. Crap. That's about what I can put for it. You might understand that. So we know that this means that the top leek, rose and everything else at the top, the thistle, the shamrock, are all going to be out. They'll all be out. But nothing is as it seems. That's not to take what I've just said as gospel. It brings in answer to the question, just what is the Royal Mint chucking out? And how is it happening? Because I'll tell you now, I know I've got a suspicious mind. I know I have good cause to be very suspicious. There's something very drastically wrong. There's something very drastically wrong. Now, I don't know what the date of this coin is other than what you saw. And I think I know, but because it's micro writing, I don't actually know. Which is why I didn't tell you. Because I don't actually know what that date was. It's so hard to read, it's unreal. Now, I'm just going to mess about with this because I want this camera to be dead bright. And you see, there's little movement. All right, that's it. It's the best it's going to be. There's little movement when you lock onto something that you can adjust that camera. I haven't got my gloves on because that is such a pain in the arse. It really is. So what we're looking at here is a complete and utter mess. Some people would call it a doubly, like what you see around the Queen's head. That's a doubly, they say. That's a doubly. Yeah, all right, all right. There's a bit of metal. Don't know where that's come from, and it is a bit of metal. I'm not even going to try doing anything with it. All this here, all this dark, it's not as what you would think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now get a pound coin from another section of my 2, 4, 6, 8, £10 coins, and hopefully I'm going to turn that round that way, bring that right over to here, and this is unfortunately where it all goes up the Swanee. So what I was going to do is, you're going to have to take my, right, that's as best I can do, okay? This is, hang on a minute, let me get it up in that corner, and let me come in with this coin. Right, that is as best I can do, okay? You're going to have to just trust me and believe me. Can you work out what the date is on that coin? The one that I've just brought in. Can you? Can you read what that is? Can you? Now look at this. Look at this. And then look at that. And I've just seen that this is near a copy. Now, I haven't done this on purpose. I've not had these on in order. These are £10 coins that were all in a streak, and the £2 coin, and they was all in a line. Okay, they were all in a line. So I had no idea what I was picking. I did this one. I knew I was picking with this one because that was on top, but I didn't know with this one because I just took that out the pile at a random piece. You see this here? You see this here? Well, that's what this is. Okay? And you've got to try and convert that. It's so hard to do because you need to see both these coins together to appreciate what I'm saying. Because the only other way to do it is to keep pushing this one out here and then pushing that one there so you can see. There is no physical way I can do two coins at once. I'd have to do that with my phone, and to be honest, I'm losing the will to live with all this because it's all such crap. It's all such bullshit. It really is. Oh, my life. So I'm going to push that one back and I'm going to put it in its little pile. I know where it is. So I'm going to carry on with this now. And you're just going to have to sort of flip backwards and forwards as best you can from the video. It's the only way I can think of telling you to do it, how to do it, to understand what all this rubbish is. Okay, the reflection is because it is such a shiny coin. Okay, the other coin you saw was not a shiny coin. That was as dull as rubbish. I mustn't swear, but I do really feel like swearing because I've had enough of this. And I feel sorry for all the people that collect coins and their lovely little coin sets, their lovely deluxe, blah blah blah. You know how I feel about these words. Well, if you don't, you better have a look at some of my videos and go back a while. You'll understand then. It's all rubbish. Anyway, so here we go. We're up now. Can you read the date? Oh, can you read that now? Can you read that? A guess. Look, there's a 2. Oh, I don't know what that is, or that, but we know it must be 20 something, 2. And now I don't know what it is. You can't read this. Now, this is a really shiny coin. This is not a dirty coin in any way. In any way, shape or form is this a dirty coin. So what's all this about then? Why is it so hard to read? Let me throw you these questions to give you an idea. A hint. Now look at this shamrock. Actually, the shamrock is about the right size. And we're looking at these 2 petals. Because that's what you have to judge to be a real coin, I should say. And this is nothing but real. All this here, all round here is a doubly. And that's because of that bottom branch above the £1. That's all because of that. Because you notice it. All this in here, all this in here, all this is crap. It's metal, it's just crap. It's because, for whatever reason the Royal Mint want to choose, won't tell you. You know, it's nice being part of a population whereby you're treated as crap. And this is money. This is money, and you're treated as crap. They don't give a toss. They really don't give a toss. Okay? And then you can understand where the money machine starts, where the making of money starts. Okay? And you have to ask yourself again what recently I've been repeatedly saying. An error coin, what value does it hold? And the answer is, like with any coin, it has its makeup. Now, with a normal £1 coin, you can't ask for a lot of money because it's in circulation, and that's what it is. But you know, as I've shown you, if you go on the Royal Mint website and look at the mintage figures and the coins they show, they only show you one side. They don't show you both sides. They only show you one side. And that one side is normally the same coin all the way through. I can't remember what coin it was, but I believe it was the 1997 technology coins. That was the image they showed. They used the same image right the way through, simply because they couldn't be asked to put a photo of each year. And you might ask yourself then, why? Why did they do that? Why didn't they do that? You know, it's not that hard, is it? When you're building a website, to put a picture of each year, even if it looks or appears to be the same. I'm just giving you a little bit of time to take that into mind, okay? The reason I've stopped and why I'm letting you think about what I'm saying. This is not funny. I'm deadly serious. Anyway, so we really can't use that as we can't use this coin at all, really, to prove whether it's fake or not. You couldn't, because you haven't got a decent backdrop coin to look at, because you don't know what coin you're looking at. You don't know whether it's a fake or not. It's something that the Royal Mint have chucked out that's just crap. Anyway, yeah, I'm infused, as you can tell, by my tone and my language, that I'm just really sick of this now. I'm tired of it. You people have got to wake up. People have got to wake up to the coin money making machine and what it's all about. And you're being stung. People are buying these coin sets. They're being stung. I don't know about so much the coin sets, and I would imagine this. I don't know, but I would imagine all this premium executive blah 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 are the only sets. It probably goes down to, I don't know what level it goes down to. I don't know. So I'm just sort of giving you off the top of my head. Now look at the date as well. I've just seen. Know what year that is now? Thank you. Right. So you know that it's actually 2020. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And look at the state of that. Look at the state of that. It's only been in circulation. Look at it. Look. Double-headed crap rip metal runs. This is only 3 years old. I've seen better 1997 years coins. Look at it. Do you get the picture now? Is it sinking in? Because I tell you what, this video is worth a like and a subscribe. and I suggest you get all your friends who know about coins or think they know about coins to check up on their sets, their coin sets, and what they're paying for them. I sincerely hope you do. Anyway, that's an advancement. I only did that because I actually saw the date, and we can quite clearly see the date now. It's 2020, and I'm sorry it took me away from what I was going on about. Although I think you got the rough gist of it. So you can't look. There's all doubly. This is all the same. All a load of crap. Do you know, I've never felt so angry in all my life. All this, look at it. Look. Yeah, I'm glad I've given it up, because this is probably the last video that I'm going to do. I know I've got 40, I think it's 46 subscribers, and I do appreciate those subscribers for doing this for their own reasons. Because I've not asked them to subscribe. I've never asked them to subscribe. I think I did jokingly once with, I can't remember what video it was. I think it was something to do with the pound coins. It was either that or the technology coins. It was one of the two. It was one of my early videos on either subject, pound or the £2. I jokingly said, like and subscribe. I've never believed in it, because that's just another scam. These people that sit here and say, it costs you nothing, it's free. Yeah, it costs you nothing, it's free, but it's not making them a lot of money. And why this YouTube has taken off, and every subject you can cover. And have you seen the new revamped style of YouTube? Have you? Yeah, right. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. And like I say, let's take the light off, because that is very bright. The light's reflecting off. Actually, you would say that this is an actual good representation of the leak. Both these parts seem good. You can tell that it's not actually good just by that alone. But it's hard to tell because you've got all these runny bits of metal that are reflecting. Look at it. I say 3 years old. I don't know why I'm thinking, 2023, because the King Charles coins came in, didn't they? Yeah. So yeah, 5 years old. This coin, 5 years old. Pathetic. And I've got I've got untold numbers of these coins now. Untold numbers. And it sort of gives you the answer. People don't care. Because if they did, they would be sorting these pound coins out, and they'd be sticking them on eBay and asking £5 for them. At least. They're worth more than £5. In my eyes, they're worth more than £5. Because this is disgraceful. And there is something I could do, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to waste my time with it anymore. Because I'm not getting anything out of this. I'm just doing this for you, to inform you what's what. And any coin collectors out there that don't understand, well, maybe they might do now. because there's lots of these coins. Just like I said to you about the 2009 2p pieces, they were prolifically errored. Lumps of metal everywhere, all over the place. But you try finding a 2009 2p now, I ask you. And I would look up the mint. I was just about to chop off here and look on the mintage figures of the 2009 2p. But anyway, like I say, I did have loads of them. I don't know where they were, where they've gone. They're probably floating around this house somewhere amongst all the other crap that I've got around. But yeah. So now we're back to this side. And, you know, just look at what you're looking at. I'm going to have to take the light off to probably get that there. That's what I want you to see. This. That's been done in circulation. That's not been done in circulation. I'm sorry, there's my fingerprint because I've not done it with gloves. Look at that. Look. Go back and look at the videos. Look what I showed you about, was it this coin? It had the security feature, so it must be modern. Look at it. Look. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. And there's your security feature. That should actually, we should be able to manipulate that so you can see that. That should actually sort of be. I'm just thinking because it's out. Look at the neck. Look at the neck here, and how far that neck comes into here. You can't see it, but it does. If that was real and normal, that would be in here somewhere, but it's not. And if we come up to the top, that's not. So there's something very, very suspicious going on here, isn't there? If that is not up onto the outer coin, and if that is not down into the security feature, I'm going to try and... Oh, it is. Sorry. Yeah, just. Look, there. See it? That little tip. But see how nice and doubly that is? It's a doubly. It's a doubly. And you know, or you should know, that looking at my previous videos, that is not right. But then there you go. I know what it is, but I want you to learn yourself. So what I'm going to say to you is, remembering that and this and what's inside the date, you will now understand when I say, because you can see this here, it's very fine, but you can see it here with the security feature, that these lines, all these little lines here, they've all been pushed down. They've all been pushed down. You don't normally see that. You don't normally see those lines protruding outside the security feature. So I don't know what you're going to see, and we're doing this together because I'm blind as well. I don't think I've done a 2020 coin with the security feature. So let's have a look. There's the one. I've got the one. Can you see the one? It's hard. It is hard. It's there, and it goes off. See it? It is hard, but it's there. If I probably take probably take. Oh, what's going on with me? Oh, blimey, it's picking up the light of the wow. It's that shiny. It's picking the light up off of my lamp that's up in the air. Wow, I've never seen that before. So we're going to have to do it, I'm afraid. I've got to take all the light off of this as well. And now somehow I've got to get you to see this, because it's unfair of me to say, look, I can see it. But before I do this, because I just saw this as I dipped, can you see this here? No, it's not very. Let's get it back up there. It's best up there. There's light. Anyway, what I'm going to tell you is, well, you will know if you've been following me, there's lines off the security feature. That tells you, and I've only just realised this recently, that tells you that this coin moves in its strike. That's what this whole coin is about. It's about a mid-strike. But how can this happen? Ask yourself, how can it happen? There, you can see it. There you go, look. See it? Before I lose it, they go off there. You need, see, and there's one fine there. You need, God blimey, you need a trained eye. As I've said with my coins all along. And you might actually feel, well, what's this guy getting uptight about? You know, it's only a coin, isn't it? It's only a coin. Yeah, you can look at that. It's only a coin, which is fine. And in that sense is why I don't feel that I should carry on with it, to be honest. I've enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. See, look at that there, with the H. And all of this here, it's all the same thing. See, there's a line going off here. That's another thing. I mean, you may have found me funny. I know I'm funny. Don't have to tell me I'm funny, but you may have found me funny, and it is sort of funny in a sort of sense. And then you look at that A. Look at it, lines going off. What could cause that? What could cause all those lines going off? I tell you what, the Royal Mint's quality control have got something to answer for. Quality control my arse. Yeah. Poor old J. Oh, yeah, it's JC Coins. Let's have a look at the old, the old REG, and oh, it's not got the R. Oh no, I suppose it hasn't. It's the only coin I really have got a thing about that I like, because Jodie played a diamond there. She played a diamond, and she's the only one I think would recognise it. The other thing you can see is that the Elizabeth is right away from the inner coin, and it's not showing itself there. So we go round. It doesn't come in at all. It doesn't come in at all. Now that's something unusual. So there's my madness for you. That's both sides of the coin. Let's go to the edge. Get this in focus. Oh. There we go. Let's just take a bit of focus off again. Light. Probably not going to be the best idea, to be honest, but let's see. Oh, look, it is blank. How amazing. So that's one. No, that one isn't. There you go. See them lines? That's the reeds. That's the reeds that shouldn't be there. Hope you coin collectors are paying all that lovely money to the Royal Mint and looking at this. Because I bet this is something they've overlooked. I bet no one's ever thought about doing this when they're doing their quality control. I bet he doesn't sit there looking at these edges and the blanks, which should be blank. And look, there's another lot. See them? I can't do it because I've got both my hands on the coin. So there you go. And when I was watching that video about the Royal Mint and the American Mint as well, I don't know whether I've posted them before or not. I can't remember now. This is my 200 actually it might be even my 300th post. So I've lost my count. Look, there they are again. There they are again. Just if you don't believe me, just take my word for it. That's damaged. That's damaged. That's yeah, that's damaged. You can make them out, but it's so hard. But you need that light to be off. Look, if I pull that, oh no, actually, it's done it a favour. Look, on this particular edge, it showed up. Or at least it did. There. Right, I'm going to point now so that you can see. There. And that is the miracle of having a micro camera, because there will be few people that will know what I'm going on about. Okay? I think we're coming back to front now, where we started from. So the next one should be good for lines. No, this must have been the one we started off with then. Oh, hang on, because I've added light, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah, you're not seeing it because of the light. That's how fine these lines are. But how do they get there? How does a reeded side there get to be... Oh, yeah, look, there you go. How does that reeded side get to be on a blank side? Look at them. Ask yourself that question. Let the Royal Mint answer that. Let the Royal Mint answer that. How does that happen? And all these knowledgeable guys out there that know everything about coins. How does it happen, guys? Come on, tell us. And that, I'm afraid to say, because I'm not going to go do any more on that, that is what makes a coin valuable. But the trouble is, with modern coins, there's so many of them because they're treating us like, what to say. Anyway, so that's 2020. Let's go back to the one that I started with in comparison. So we'll do it reverse. We'll do this side first. Can you see the lines? See them? I bet you're sitting there thinking, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? This is going to be dodgy because I've only got the coin in one hand. Now let me take the light off. Right, can you see them? It's not the very best. Can you see them? There. There. Same thing. And I don't even know what year this coin is. All I know is I brought it in to show you the doubly, the W effect. And you can see these reeds again here. They're not the best. Not the best by far because of the damage. When you see that, you know you're not going to get a clear view because it just means they've been, you know, knocked about so much. There you go, more of them. The clearest ones you can see standing out. That's one. Those there are yeah, I can see them, but I don't know whether you will. There. Again, the damage is, it says one there. The damage is, there you go. It's 1, 2 there. 1, 2. Oh, there's some good ones. Oh, yeah, look, they've got loads of them here now on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the story goes on. Doopy 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 doos. Look at them. Can you see them? I'm not going to point them out anymore. Can you see them? Can you see them? And this is a damaged edge. And I'm doing this without my pointer. And I can see them as clear as day. But then I cheat because I know that they're there. 1, 2, 2, 3 I can see. Right. So I hope you've sorted that out. Now look, what year is this coin? The crown is no way near the outer coin this time. So you know that the trunk of the neck, oh pardon me, excuse me, the trunk of the neck should be onto the outer coin. Sorry, I've had nothing to eat and it's now 20 to 4 and I've got to go after this. I've got to go uptown. So I will do these two. And there's a fella on eBay I got to know, 16. He said some words to me that actually meant quite a bit. How he hates, no, that's not a word you should use. You should never use the word hate. Dislikes lies and cheats. Now, look at the Elizabeth and try and remember back to that other coin. It starts like that with the other coin. And look how it comes in here this time. Do you see it moving in? Look at this, look. 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 Oh, it's... oh, it is a JC. It is Jody. That can't be right, surely. Oh, it is. So, yeah, that is 2016. Let's talk about... No, let's not talk about closed and open sixes. I've worn that one out. Yeah, look how close all that got. Now, on that 2020 coin, 2020, nice, shiny, lovely coin. Now, this is not doing that, look. This is not doing it. The trunk, let me... I just want to... It's actually I've got to hold my hands up. That's actually very fine. So that is a perfect inner coin in relation to the outer coin. That is perfect. That's what your coins should look like. That should not be on here in any way, shape or form. There is signs of it, but let's get this back into focus. There, that's going to be the best it's going to be. See, there is signs that could be this, the trunk of the neck. The reason I say that is because when the prong of that crown does not come up onto there, you know with the doublies that the bottom should be the reverse. I'm thinking now of the £2 Britannias is where that really does come up, where I've told that before. You see, there's not a lot to go on with the obverse side because there is just nothing in the image. But with the Britannias, it's different. It's loaded. You know, it's like that. So you've got all this stuff going on. So it's different. You can when you say one side's going to be more and the other side isn't. This is where it comes into play. Which is by complete coincidence that occurred in my journey of all this rubbish. So yeah, these are the only points of detail that there and that there is the only points you've got to determine whether this coin's dropped. You can, and trust me guys, I do not know how it happens. I can't tell you how it happens. I can't even give you an inkling of an idea how it happens. How does that security mark move up and down? Because it's in relation to the inner coin. But if the inner coin and the outer coin are struck at different times, how does this happen? I hope that inner voice in your head saying he's telling the truth. Work it out. Work it out. Let's see the comments if I get any. I bet I don't get any comments. Let's look at the security feature just while we're here. See if we can get. You talk about that security feature on the technology coins. This is a damn sight harder. This is really a damn sight harder. And if I was going to carry on doing this, but it would drive me around a twist, I'd make up a jig. I'd make up a jig whereby you can put this on it and that the coin was sharp, and I can just see it there. It's gone. There. No, I can't do it because as soon as I take my other hand off, I'm too shaky. My hands are too shaky. But I'll try and tell you, look, it's there. Up and across. So I'm sorry guys, on that one I can't show you what it is. But even with your normal eye, sometimes it's all to do with the way that you angled the coin. I've never seen one where it lays flat and you can see it. I've never seen one. Oh, I tell a lie. Yes, I did. I saw it once on a photograph. But that doesn't necessarily mean to say that that was a true picture. If this outer coin is completely independent of the inner coin, how does this happen? You see, I've never asked you that before, have I? All I've gone on about is that the Elizabeth moves in and out from the edge, either edge, whichever way you want to look at it, it moves in and out. But I've never given you a reason why, have I? Because I don't know. That's only something the Royal Mint can answer. And I'll tell you what, I'm so glad, and I hope there's a load of people there that lose their jobs. I really do. I hope there's a lot of people lose their jobs with this doing away with coins, because it is coming. As they said, 2027, there'll be no coins. That's it. It's the end. Makes you laugh, doesn't it? All that with the Royal Mail and the changing over to King Charles. That will stay. Don't get me wrong, that will stay, but it makes you laugh. Because when you put that to the coins, they've done it all the same with the coins, yet they will be going. There will be no more coins. So all these doublies and whatnot, they might become really collector's items. They probably will. Right, now, there you go. We're back to this. That's the trunk of the branch where it flows up, and you get the rose, you get the leek, you get the thistle, and you get the old shamrock. All that stems from this. Now let me try and get that into better focus. Hang on. There. This is about as best you're going to get. I think I should put some light on. Yeah. That shouldn't be there. Okay. That shouldn't be there. That should be up a bit by at least the shadow that you're seeing there. It should be at least that up. The DP's crap, by the way. You look at that, the initials. I noticed that when I turned it over. The first thing I noticed was the DP was crap. Let's take the light off. See? Would you know that was DP? Would you know the MD on some of these coins that I've been showing you? These initials? I know what's going through your head, but they're only little letters. It's not the point, is it? That's not the point. Now, this is wrong. You see, that's sort of right, but this isn't. This is sunken. Is there a word called sunken? Sunked. That's sunked. That is abysmal. If you're going to call a coin a fake, and this is the right year for it as well, by the way, if you're going to call it a fake, that is what you would normally get. You can't see the crisscross. That should all be crisscrossed, and you should be able to see that clearly. And there's not even a hint of it. These, I don't know why I'm telling you all this, because you should know. These rise up. Can you see two of those? These two things here. Can you see them on there? Because that's what should be up there. That should go up onto there. But I would err on the caution, because if you look at the edge of that there, this is damage, because it's the highest point of coin, and it is, of course, before I carry on, 2016. So that's only 9 years old. No, yeah, 9 years old. 9 years old. And you can't tell because of damage. Yet you're supposed to be able to tell whether it's a fake or not. Yeah, dream on. Yeah, you can see, if you look at the 2020 coin, the one before this, you'll see that's completely different. You'll see that that's completely different. The rose, from what I've seen of it, the rose does not actually take a battering. I don't know why that is. But so you got all this going in here. Let me put a bit of light back on. Yeah, it sort of sorts it out a bit better, doesn't it? So you can see that's small. That's closer to the edge. But how does that, I ask you again, how does that happen? How does this outer coin happen in relation to the inner coin? It can only be that both dies are at fault. Would that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you, I should say? Because for the pair of them to be out, both must be out. But this is not a doubly. This is not a doubly by far, and yet that's not in the right position. I hope all this is making sense to you. If it doesn't, I failed. I failed abysmally to show you what I'm trying to say. I think we did this, didn't we? Yeah, I did this because I did it the reverse way round. Reverse way round. Oh, look at that! Look, let's get my. How did that happen? Yeah, look at that! Look. Hang on, £1. Can you see that now? £1. Incredible, really. You're supposed to be able to see that with your eyes. Aye, aye. So there you have it. I've got to go uptown now, and I will do the other 8 when I get back, if I haven't jumped in front of a bus or something by then. Bye.